He says, if a person travels to Mecca, is he allowed to combine and shorten his salawat, his prayers, for 4 days? And after the 4 days, he doesn't combine and shorten them if he stays for 10 days in Mecca total? Also, can you please send your evidences? Well, Brother Abdurrahman is asking about the duration of praying, shortened prayer for a traveler. So, is there a specific period of time prescribed by Sharia for a person to shorten his prayer and afterwards he may or he must complete it? It's an issue of dispute among scholars. Some scholars say that if you intend to stay in the city, in your destination, more than 4 days, then you have to complete. So if you stay there for 4 days, you shorten, and the 5th day you complete your 4 rak'ah prayers, you pray them as it is, as 4 rak'ahs. Others say, no, if you stay longer than 17 days or 19 days or 11 days or different number of days. And none of these evidences were prescribed by the Sunnah. Rather, it was an incident that the Prophet ﷺ traveled, and he, for example, stayed for 4 days and left. So they looked at it and said, okay, he stayed 4 days, and then he left, then 4 days is the minimum. Or that is, let me rephrase that, it is the maximum. Others say, no, he went in the Battle of Tabuk for so long, or he stayed in Mecca, in the conquest of Mecca on the 8th year of Hijrah for so many given days, and he shortened. So each one looked at an incident where the Prophet ﷺ shortened his prayers over the duration of the journey where he stayed in that place, but there isn't anything to prove to us, had it been longer, that the Prophet would have completed ﷺ. Never, ever. And therefore, this is what caused a lot of the scholars who looked into all of these evidences and said that nothing stands for specifying the duration of shortening the prayer. Nothing stands to prove that. And the choice of Sheikh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah and also Sheikh ibn Uthaymeen and a great number of scholars, they say that as long as you are a traveler, you may shorten. And when we say traveling or a traveler, we do not mean that a person commuting from one city to the other. So within these 2 cities or towns, he's a traveler. No, once a person leaves his hometown and exits the borders of his own hometown, traveling anywhere, then he's a traveler until he comes back. So this is the norm. You go out for a week or 2 or for a month and you are a traveler. Once you go back, you become a non-traveler, a resident. But if a person travels and he goes to this second city and settles down, like a student who has a scholarship for 2 years, maybe he would shorten for a couple of weeks, but once he rents an apartment, furnishes it, and knows the times of prayer, and get acquainted to the city, he becomes a resident, and then he has to complete.